What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga career mode. This is episode number 14, and we start today's just off by changing the position of Ludwig from 58 overall left wing back to 66 rated left winger. Yeah, I don't know why it took me so long to change this guy's position. He's not a wing back. Look at his defensive stats. He's got a 37 stand tackle. He ain't a defender, no doubt about that. This guy's a natural winger. So yeah, trade him to a winger. He's got a little bit of pace. I don't even know why playmaker development plan. That'll improve his skill moves and also his passing and the acceleration and the reasonably low stamina as well. He's the one to keep your eyes on this season coming out of the academy. He's got great potential. It seems set right now at 86 to 92, so he should be an exciting prospect minimum. And of course, as we've loaned out Maya and Nankishi, our other wingers in this team, he'll definitely get a pro deal at some point during this season, just for squad depth, and he should get some game time as well as an understudy for Robin Hack on the left-hand side. I'm quite excited, I gotta be honest. Ludwig looks pretty decent indeed. So as transfer deadline day will come round, we had around 8.5 million in our transfer budget, and I decided to make a signing on deadline day. And whilst defense has been our main concern since we took over at Bielefeld, I thought, what's the best defense? A better offense. Not really, but still, we'll take it. Jamie Llewellyn of Firth. This guy was relegated with Firth. He finished rock bottom last season, though he did score quite a few goals in the Bundesliga, including against us as well at the Stuttgart Arena. And this guy is a really, really quick winger that could also play up top as well. We signed him for just over £6 million. Again, trying to keep it realistic, signing those players outside of the Bundesliga, as we're not an established Bundesliga side just yet, and recently relegated sides as well. Another German player for our German core, 21-year-old winger, and again, with his stats here, I think, again, it will take him around a year and a half with good form and development, maybe a year to become an official striker. But I think personally, this guy would do better up top than on the wing. He's not going to get much game time, you know, with Hack and Wim are our starting wingers who are so good in this team. And Kruger, of course, had the ACL last season, which was such a shame because he scored 7 goals in 18, was doing really well, and then his season was ended. Of course, he's come back now, but I don't know whether he'll be the same striker. But to me, I think Jamie Llewellyn, either coming off the bench as an impact sub or starting in this team, I think as a striker, that's where he should be starting in this side. I really feel, and maybe the comparisons aren't there just yet, but if you're watching my club and country save right now with Newport County and Wales, I just feel he might be like a Rabbi Matondo. If you're watching that save, you'll know why I'm making that comparison. Matondo was signed as a winger. He started off a few games as a winger. Then we chucked him up top as a striker, and he just thrived. I feel Llewellyn could be the same sort of play. He might be an out-and-out winger to begin with, but if we force him up top to play through the middle as an out-and-out striker, I think that's where we'll get the best out of him. So yeah, Llewellyn in, and that was only a piece of business on deadline day as well. We had a bid for Felix Agu and one for Wagnerman. We rejected them both, of course, though. They're both staying here. And there you go. So deadline day ends as we take a look at scouting and academy update as well. I'm so excited for Ludwig, I already am. And also Martin as well. 81-91 potential, 15-year-old goalkeeper. Cannot wait until he's 16, so I'm going to promote the guy. I might drop Svila to the reserves once he becomes 16 and I give him a pro deal. But I've got to say, with the bins we did in the summer, I was reasonably pleased with it. We haven't blown the side up yet, but when you look at the signings with Bielefeld this season, we signed 6 players in total, but the signings we made, well, 3 of which were free transfers. You know, Klünter and Svila and Da Costa all coming in on frees, which means we're not paying a transfer fee. We're just paying the weekly wages, which are quite low, to be fair, for those 3 players. They'll all add squad depth for the bench and for the reserves. Well, if you've got the size we made, Dardai, Tirana Riga, and also Llewellyn as well. All 3 of those guys will probably be starters in this team. Dardai now being phased further up the pitch, players are holding mid. Tirana Riga as a new centre-half alongside Piper. And of course, Jamie Llewellyn, who for our first game of today's episode against FC Köln, massive one here already this season after no wins in our first 3 games here, will most likely be leading our line this season unless Kruger can rediscover his form since the injury. I gotta say, I like it. 5 of the 6 players being German for that German core, 3 of which and half our signings being free transfers, and then the other 3 really good young German talents from recently relegated Bundesliga sides. It's realistic, we're meeting our criteria. I'm liking how this team is looking heading into season 2. We haven't got a bunch of wonder kids, we haven't got a totally new look team with a completely different identity. We're changing the team quite realistically. I'm liking how it's currently looking. But still, for our first game, it was FC Köln, and what a dream start as well. I did give Jamie Llewellyn his debut, and inside the first 10 minutes, he bagged his first goal as a Bielefeld player. Yeah, I really do feel this guy could be a Rabbi Matondo in this team. If you're watching my club and country save, he's all about the pace. He is just so good and so effective and clinical in front of goal as well. I love that finish. Gets the ball out of his feet and bends it in off the post. And then a few minutes later, well, what a start here at Schuka Arena. No wins in our first 3 games. That needed to change here. And we were 2-0 up against FC Köln inside the first quarter of an hour. Patrick Wimmer's first goal of this season as he makes it 2-0. Arminia Bielefeld. And again, at the moment, you know, I've not been defending very well with this Bielefeld side, and 19 minutes in here has Köln it for their first chance of the game. To be fair, didn't really have much chance with this one. What a back heel and finish that was at the near post. I do obviously want to improve my defence as quickly as possible, because that was the main reason why I chose Bielefeld. I wanted to challenge myself in this career mode and become a really defensively solid type of player. But it's just really hard, guys. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm trying. I really am trying. But I just find it so hard. And I've talked about it before. It's one of the reasons why I'm really liking this year's FIFA, because the AI on Ultimate is so much harder. You know, it's so much more of a difficult challenge this year. And one of the reasons why is because they are just so good when going forward. You'll probably score quite a few goals against them, but shutting them out is such a difficult thing to do. In previous versions of FIFA, it wasn't actually that hard to defend against the AI on the highest difficulty, whether that be Ultimate or before, which was the highest difficulty, which was Legendary. It wasn't actually that difficult to defend against them. You just needed to stop any kind of exploits, and if you forced them wide, it was like a sort of a surefire way to break down one of their attacks. But now, as you can see, they scored one of their goals with just 3 of their shots in the game. They're just so much more clinical than before. If they get a chance and they get a bit of space and they get a shot on target, it's probably 80% of the time going to find the back of the net. So defending in this year's FIFA has become so much more difficult. And again, I like it. I really do, because you need to be on your game if you're going to get clean sheets, shut teams out, and be a defensively solid player. But it is blimmin' difficult, I'll be honest, guys. I'm trying really hard with this Bielefeld side, but it is so difficult. Regardless, we won the game by 2-1. It's our first win of the season, and Lord knows we needed it as well. No wins in our first 3 games, and I said this season, you know, it's going to be like last year. It's going to be another really tough challenge. I am aiming for another top 10 finish. Last year, of course, finishing 8th. I wanted the same finish this season. I want a top 8 finish, top 10 bare minimum, and possibly sneaking into a European place. I definitely think with the young players we've got with potential, there's a chance to do that, but I know it's going to be difficult, especially on the defensive end. But for our following game, this was Borussia Dortmund away at the Signal Iduna Park. We faced them 3 times in this series so far and lost to them every single occasion. And I knew this would probably be another loss as well. To be fair, despite one of the first 2 chances, a great save by Ortega kept it 0-0. We had a golden chance to take a shock lead. Llewellyn sent forward, just couldn't squeeze it home as it was still 0-0. But after Ruben Neves, the former Wolves midfielder, gave Dortmund the lead, I didn't give up. I did everything I could to try and get back on level terms in a game where I thought I played quite well. And with 13 minutes to go, man, oh man, this is why Llewellyn is going to be my out-and-out striker this year. Kruger, since coming back from the ACL, it's going to take him time to get going again. Golden chance there for his first goal since injury. Put the shot wide, and then following that, offloading, great save, kept it 1-0. And all the late chances I got in this game, I kept thinking, surely I'm going to convert one of them. 90th minute, final chance. Llewellyn's first shot blocked. Second one, turned over the bar. Couple of massive saves right towards the end, and we lost it by a goal to 0. So frustrating, because of all the games I've played against Dortmund, this one I played really well. But what's that saying? I talk about it quite a lot. Good is not good enough against the AI on Ultimate. I played really, really well, but just couldn't find a goal. But again, like I mentioned earlier, I like it. This is why I'm enjoying this FIFA so much. You have to be so much better than in previous FIFAs if you're going to beat the AI on Ultimate. They are such a better, it's such a better and harder difficulty. So a loss there, 1 win in our first 5 games with Arminia Bielefeld. Just like last season, a really tough beginning to the campaign in the top tier of German football. But once again, I'll say it, I like it. The challenge is really enjoyable. But that will end today's episode of the Bundesliga Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you haven't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I will see you for the next episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode very soon.